Hi guys, welcome to Movement Monday for another week. Today we are going to discuss thoracic spine mobility. Okay, so the last couple of weeks we've been going through the upper body. We've looked at sort of the shoulder and pecs in terms of allowing your shoulder joint to open out. We've talked about the lats, okay, where we're looking to obviously allow us to get overhead. Okay, and now we're looking at the thoracic spine, okay, which is the point on your back just around mid to lower, to sort of, sorry, upper to upper mid, lower to lower back. That area there, basically, just allowing movement within that area as well is obviously massively important. So if there's restrictions or tightness or lack of movement in those areas, then other parts of the body are going to start allowing themselves to move naturally to get into the positions you want to. So, the way you've got to think of your joints and the way you've got to think of your body is it's a stack of either mobile or stable joints. Okay, so you're thinking about as you're going up from the ankle to the knee, to the hip, to the lower, to the mid and upper back with the thoracic spine, up to sort of the neck and shoulder joints, shoulder girdles from there. Each joint is stacked upon each other, and each one is meant for stabilization, okay, holding the joint in a stable position, or mobilization, okay. So being mobile in that joint allows you obviously for movement, okay. So if one joint in particular is not doing its job, so for example, we can use the lower back as an example from there. A lot of people get lower back pain, but the reason they get lower back pain is not because their lower back is weak or because it's not doing its position. It's, the idea actually is that the joints below and above are probably not doing their job. Okay, so you look at the thoracic spine. Okay, if there's no mobility in the thoracic spine, then obviously the body's got to find mobility from somewhere else. Normally, it will start looking at the lower back or the upper back or neck or something to get that mobility in there. It will have to move unnaturally and then cause lower back pain, because that is the muscle or the area of the body that then has to compensate for the lack of the mobility in the T-spine. Okay, again, you can use like knee pain, for example. Okay, normally if you have a bad knee, it's going to be because either your hip or your ankles aren't mobile enough. Okay, so your knee then starts taking a beating because you're having to go into, as I say, unnatural positions. You're having to put your body through a position, especially at high torque or under high load if you're using weights or if you're exercising frequently, and then that causes knee pain. But it might not be the actual knee that's the problem. It's obviously normally the joint above and below. Okay, so that's the idea of why it's important to continuously mobilize, continuously look at ways of improving your mobility. Things like yoga, things like just warming up or doing some stretches every day. Those sort of activities will promote your better movement within the body and get you sort of a bit more pain-free. Okay, which is why they're so popular. Pilates and things like that as well help strengthen the right areas and get the movement in the right areas. So today, Bank Holiday Monday, as you guys are off today, you might find that you have a bit of time to do some other activities. You might be a bit too hungover, but things like the couch stretch, things like the hamstring stretch we've discussed before, things like the pec stretch against the walls, any sort of area that you feel that there's major tightness or lack of movement, today will be a really good day just to practice them while you're sort of lying around and not doing much else, okay, if that's the case. All right. Today then we'll go through the thoracic spine. So I'm going to show you this movement. It's going to be really simple, really quick. I spent most of this video just discussing about why it's important, but this is the movement we're going to go into now. This movement can be done again anywhere. It doesn't need any equipment, but I will show you with and without equipment in case you do have a roller, because I think with a roller it's a little bit more effective. And then obviously from there we can discuss, you can ask any questions you want and we can go forward from there. Alright guys, so let me put you down into our usual position, down to the floor. So with the mat, what we're looking to do, guys, the reason we're using something from here, so we're using a roller in this example, but as I say, I'll show you without as well, is it gives you a point of reference in terms of keeping your legs to the floor, basically. You want your legs to stay in this position, because the thing we're trying to improve or to see is our thoracic spine mobility, okay, the T-spine. So the idea of the roller is you pop your knee on there, 90-degree angle, sits nicely onto the roller from that. okay, arms out in front, and then you're rotating around, okay, so the arm comes away, this top arm, reaches round and tries to get to the floor on the other side, okay. Any major restrictions you're going to have, you know, obviously you might find that you're only going to be able to get so far before it stops you, okay. You can start feeling the tightness, start feeling that area, sort of stretch out to that position and then just come back and then go back out again, okay. The idea here is this is a sort of a dynamic mobility movement, okay, so you're moving through the range, okay, and that allows you to really open out, stretch out that area from there, okay. The idea though is the knee cannot leave the mat. Obviously as you come round and you get more restricted, you may find that you want to lift your knee off the floor so you can get your hands to the floor from there, okay, but that's not the point. The point of that being there is allowing you to test that mobility from that position, okay. I'll show you from a top view as well, so you might be able to see it from there. So knee on the roller, hands out in front, okay, and then you're rotating the upper body around whilst keeping that knee to the roller and trying to reach around and touch the floor and then control back, okay. You can do that both sides. You're looking to do probably about 10 reps each side as part of a warm-up drill or anything from there. And the idea generally, as I say, it just opens out that joint, starts to open out that area of the body. It's not too intrusive, it's not too you know, painful. It should allow you to sort of go to the point where you feel the restriction and stretch out in that position and then come back. And as I say, done daily, done, you know, a few times a week, it's going to help that thoracic spine mobility, the T-spine mobility, and get you moving that upper body as well. So along with your pec stretch, along with the lat stretch, you know, that sort of movement there is going to really help open out, help the shoulders, help the sort of the upper body area from there sort of get looser and be ready for lifting and getting into positions like overhead squats, snatches, push press, things like that are going to be a lot of work overhead. You know, those sort of movements will help you at least get your body ready to be into those positions before you start putting load upon it. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, any sort of other areas you want me to start discussing and going through, then just give me a shout, send for any messages. Enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. I'll see you guys through the week. Just be awesome. Catch you later, guys.